Welcome, Magnus here, and today we're talking about Steam Deck versus PlayStation Portal. Now, I have had my Steam Deck for pretty much a while now, and it works great, and I've used it to connect to the PlayStation 5 on many occasions, and the PlayStation 4, which it works with as well. So I love using the Steam Deck. However, when the PlayStation Portal came out, and I've made a video about this in the past, the fact that I'm not getting the PlayStation Portal, that I'd stick with the actual Steam Deck, I actually got my first hands-on experience with the Steam Deck in a side-by-side comparison and gameplay session with a cousin who came over, and he brought the PlayStation Portal, which he absolutely loves, and he finds it more convenient to play than the actual PlayStation 5 having to sit down on a TV. Now, first, let's talk about a brief comparison on what a Steam Deck is versus what a PlayStation Portal is, and the main difference between the two consoles. Now, Steam Deck was released a couple of years ago by Valve, and what it allows you to do is basically a handheld computer that runs Linux, but has its own operating system called SteamOS. And through that, you can actually play PC games that will run on this portable console, and basically, you can also install emulators because it is like having your own personal computer that looks like a gaming system. That's the greatest thing that separates this apart from many of the main manufacturers, the console creators, that they allow you to basically turn this into a gaming machine that you want to take with you, like a real PC. So I do enjoy that, and it's a lot more open source than what you get with like the Nintendo Switch, PlayStation systems, or Xbox systems, unless you hack them, of course, and then you're able to do a little bit more of that, but it's still very limiting. Now, the PlayStation Portal was Sony's answer to those that wanted to be able to play their PlayStation 5 in portable situations when you can't have access to your TV all the time. Now, it works in your own home network, but it also has the ability to work when you're outside of your own home because you just want to play on the go and you want to play your PS5 games on the go as long as you're connected to some sort of Wi-Fi network, which is great. So the PlayStation Portal has an amazing OLED screen. It's got really good colors, and the control itself feels like you're holding a PlayStation 5 control in your hands off of a pretty large screen. Now, the major difference between the PlayStation Portal and the Steam Deck itself is the fact that Steam Deck is like you're carrying a computer with you, whereas the PlayStation Portal, it's just for streaming your PlayStation 5. So you need an internet connection to be able to use it. You really can't do anything else but stream your PlayStation 5 through the PlayStation Portal. Now, Steam Deck has the advantage in the fact that not only can you stream off of your PlayStation 5, but on your PlayStation 4 itself, either internally or through an outside network as well, as long as you download the special software called Chiaki-NG. And that allows you to, just like I'm showing you right here, play your PlayStation 5 games on the go. Now, the controls are mostly similar to the PlayStation 5, though there are some workarounds that you would have to do to get like your home screen button to work. For example, you can't just press one button and hit the home button just like you would on a PlayStation controller. There has to be a couple of buttons that you press at the same time, but that's a slight workaround when, using the console itself. So I just got teardown started. All right, so we decided to play PlayStation Portal versus Steam Deck next to each other side by side in a multiplayer game that we both happen to have. So we both happen to have AEW Fight Forever. So we started it, and we wanted to see the loading. We wanted to see if there was any glitches or anything like that. And when you have them and compare them side by side, I will say that the first thing that I noticed is the beautiful screen on the PlayStation Portal. Now, yes, Steam Decks have been updated themselves to an OLED screen there as well, so you really do get a similar brightness. But I have the regular LCD version. I still don't think I want a PlayStation Portal at this time because I was just fine playing on the PlayStation Portal. Now, when it comes to response time, you got to know the network situation. I have a gigabit per second internet service in my home, and he was playing off of his PlayStation 5, which was in his home, and he's got very fast gigabit per second service in his home as well. But he was outside of his own network, where I was playing off of my PlayStation 5 in my own network. So that gave me at least a network advantage when it came to that. But when it came to actual gameplay, neither of us experienced much, if any, lag at all while playing the games, which was pretty good. I was pretty happy with the fact that Steam Deck and PlayStation Portal were comparable when it came to speeds. There was no noticeable difference that we felt. However, one thing that I did notice on the Steam Deck itself is that the Steam Deck, there were a couple of times where the screen would just kind of like flash, like to give a quick flash as I'm playing. It wasn't often, but when it would happen, again, it wasn't enough to me be like, this thing sucks and toss it aside. But I didn't notice the same effect on the PlayStation Portal. But the PlayStation Portal had its own glitches as well. When playing, we noticed that there was a frame rate drop on the PlayStation Portal. Sometimes it would be 1-for-1, and sometimes the frame rate would actually go down a little bit on the PlayStation Portal, where I didn't really experience a frame rate drop on the Steam Deck. So they're different. They're both comparable, but that was different. Other than that, the whole gameplay experience was amazing. And I also did an experiment where I was testing to play the PlayStation 5 on the Steam Deck using my phone network service to see what the gameplay experience would be like if I was outside of network. Now, my phone service is much slower, but I can tell you that it was playable, though a little choppy. It was still a little playable, so it would have like frame drops, is what I experienced when I was on the go in that sense. But it still worked just fine. And if I'm in a faster network, I know that the Steam Deck would work just fine. So all in all, in conclusion, is it worth getting the Steam Deck over the PlayStation Portal? Absolutely. I don't see any strong reason why I would get the PlayStation Portal versus the Steam Deck. When the Steam Deck, you can probably pick it up used for a comparable price when it comes to the PlayStation Portal. But I would almost say you should probably pay a little bit more than that, because you can play so many games off of Steam. You can get emulators, you can play your PlayStation games on the go, and it just does it all. And it's a computer, so you could just use it like a computer, do word processing, hook it up to a keyboard and mouse and a monitor, and just go. And those are features that the PlayStation Portal doesn't have, but they still charge you that pretty hefty price for something that does only streaming. So for my opinion, I still think that the Steam Deck is worth holding on to, and you can skip the PlayStation Portal, but the PlayStation Portal does answer that calling if you only play your PlayStation games, and that's it, and you just want to be a PlayStation loyalist, then yeah, definitely spring for the PlayStation Portal, especially if you're not into like hacking or doing like some fun stuff with your computers. But most gaming people, I think, or at least that I've seen, that are consider themselves like gamers that just want to experience everything, do tend to tinker, and the Steam Deck's best for that. But that's all I got to say for that. You can make my day if you subscribe today. This is Magnus, and I'm out. Let me a comment down below. Which one would you rather get if they were both equal price? The Steam Deck or the PlayStation Portal? And as always, see you guys next time. Bye.